presenting our new bill downstairs.
Okay, so today is still Thursday, February 26th. This is the voting session for the Finance Committee. We're going to start with consent calendar for alcohol bills. These are all bills that had no opposition and all have delegation letters. Is there anyone that wants to hold a bill? I am going to hold 846 for future amendments, but does anyone else need to hold any other bills from the consent calendar?
Madam Chair, I would move favorable on all the bills other than the one you just.
Other than 846. Thank you. Does anybody have a second for that? And Senator Jackson has a second. Everybody ready?
Quick question,
I think,
Madam Chair.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Only the first two pages are consent.
the
Okay.
first two pages.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I move favorable on the consent calendar.
Okay.
It's
Thank
14
you.
bills.
Thank you. We are now, we have a motion and a second on the 2 pages of consent bills. None being held. Okay, so Senator Reedy motioned, Senator Hershey seconded. All in favor of the first 2 pages of the consent calendar on alcohol bills? Do I have a unanimous vote?
Boom.
Okay.
Everybody? And
He left,
Alonzo.
and, yeah.
Alonzo. Washington.
Okay, that's a good idea. Page 3, which is not the consent calendar. So we want to vote each one of these individually? Okay.
Yes, or
So-
amended, or,
Amber has Senate Bill 396, Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners, Chief Inspector. There was some opposition, but we had a majority vote from the Anne Arundel County senators in favor, so. Senator Lamb?
I know there's been some correspondence about a letter of support for this. I've been asking our delegation counsel for clarification that I'm still waiting on. Could I ask for a hold on this bill?
Senator, I thought you had some clarification from counsel.
I sent the.
Yeah, subsequent to that,
You followed up with him with additional questions.
we had some additional questions. We're still waiting to hear back.
Okay,
We haven't heard back.
all right, we can hold. We're holding
Just the first
Senate Bill
one.
396.
A little bit of Anne Arundel County infight.
We don't like to pay people what they're worth, that's a problem. Senate Bill 401,
All right, Senate Bill 401 is next. It is not on consent because there is one amendment offered by the sponsor at the request of the county, which essentially qualifies that the cost of living adjustment increases in the bill apply to non-represented Anne Arundel County employees. It's just a clarification to add the non-represented employees.
do I have a motion for Senate Bill 401 on that amendment? On the amended bill? Do I have a second? Okay, Senator Reedy seconded. All in favor of Senate Bill 401 with the amendment? Not Senator Lamb. Senator Mouse, are you okay? Okay, thank you.
Right, Senate Bill 441 establishes a golf course license, and a sports activity beer and wine license, and a sports activity venue beer, wine, and liquor license in Anne Arundel County. There is one technical amendment which just changes the name of the license from a Class C golf course license to a Class GC golf course license. And that has made it through, those changes are throughout the bill, but that's the only amendment.
Huh. Apparently 7 in the morning. Okay. Okay, Senate Bill 441 with the amendments. Do I have a motion for the amended bill? Senator Gall, it's Anne Arundel County. Can you make the motion? And who will move second?
I think Senator Hershey, because he's one of the best golfers.
Okay, so Senator Hershey second. All in favor of Senate Bill 441? Okay.
And the next one is Senate Bill 852. This bill expands and renames the Barbershop Beauty Salon Beer and Wine License as the Barbershop and Beauty Salon Beer, Wine, and Liquor License in Anne Arundel County, authorizing a license holder to provide up to 1.7 ounces of liquor for on-premises consumption by a barbershop or beauty salon. There are no amendments to this bill. It is not on consent for, I think, obvious reasons for this committee.
And
I
Senator
always
Larson
like
seconded.
being that all those green little buttons up there on the board, and then there's one little red one.
I get a better haircut when she's drinking though.
Oh, doing the,
Guess you won't be the foreman.
All in favor of Senate Bill 852 as amended? Almost unanimous, not Senator Kramer. All right. All right, now we have Lisa's gonna do it.
Okay, Senate Bill 13 requires that a refund for the unearned portion of a state or locally issued alcoholic beverages license fee be issued to a license holder upon surrender of the license if the license holder volunteers for or has been called into the uniformed services rather than the armed forces of the United States. There are no amendments, there's no fiscal impact, and there was no opposition at the committee hearing.
Is there an amendment?
No, it was statewide, so that wasn't why it wasn't on the consent calendar.
Can I have a motion for Senate Bill 13? Senator Reedy, can I have a second? Senator Hershey, all in favor of Senate Bill 13? Unanimous vote, okay. Senate Bill 361.
This bill extends the termination of a racetrack license issued by the Baltimore City Board of License Commissioners for the premises in the 5200 block of Parks Heights Avenue until July 1st, 2029 for the purposes of completing renovations at the location. There's one amendment. The amendment specifies that the extension of the termination date of the license is for the additional purpose of completing a transfer of ownership and renewal at the location. There's no fiscal impact.
Okay, so we have Senator Hayes and Senator Reedy, all in favor of Senate Bill 361? Thank you. All right.
Antonio, is that Pimlico?
Class 3 wine.
I think we were going to hold that one for next week. Oh,
I'm on 803, we're holding 803?
you remember, because we just got the amendments from, yeah.
We're holding 803, and we're holding 846.
Correct.
All right, last one is Senate Bill 897, Nathan?
Senate Bill 897 as amended and for which you have a reprint alters the quota applicable to the number of alcoholic beverages licenses that the Cecil County Board of License Commissioners may issue to apply only to Class A alcoholic beverages licenses. The board may not issue more than one Class A license for every 2,000 registered voters in the county, but the board may not issue fewer than 2 Class A licenses in each election district. So the amendment increases from 1,200 to 2,000 the applicable number of voters and requires the board to issue at least 2 licenses per district, as I described. No fiscal impact, no opposition.
Okay, can I have a motion on Senate Bill 897? And that was Senator Reedy, second Senator Hershey, all in favor of 897? Unanimous vote, thank you, Nathan.
All right, now on to the pink sheet.
Pink sheet.
All right, so on to the non-alcoholic beverages bills. Up first is Senate Bill 18. And this is a bill that deals with the licensure of social workers, and it's something that the committee has been working on for some time now. So I'm going to start by explaining the bill as it would be under amendments that are offered by the sponsor of the bill, and then I'm going to explain a critical additional amendment that's being proposed by the vice chair that would alter one of the sponsor's amendments. So Senate Bill 18, and as amended and shown in the reprint, establishes a provisional license to practice social work at the bachelor and master social work level. The license is available to individuals who qualify for a license to practice bachelor or master social work except for having passed the examination. And the duration of the provisional license is 12 to 24 months as set by the board. The license may not be renewed. The holder must practice under the supervision of a board-approved supervisor and may be issued a full license under the amendments that are being offered by the sponsor if, 1, they pass the required exam, or 2, complete 2,000 hours of supervised experience. And so this is under subsection E, which is on page 3 of the reprint, and I'll come back to this provision momentarily. So then the bill, as amended, goes on to specify that supervised hours may be counted towards the number of hours required for independent practice, but may not be counted toward the number of hours for the LCSWC license. So while Senate Bill 18 is an emergency bill, the board is not required to issue provisional licenses until November 1 of 2026, allowing the board approximately 6 months to develop the regulations and the procedures. So now going back to subsection E, on page 3 of the reprint, Vice Chair Hayes is offering an alternative version of subsection E. And so under the Hayes amendment, the only path to full licensure is by passing the exam that is required under current law. And so what the bill then, taken as a whole, would do
Netflix facts out of Warner Brothers purchase
is to provide a 12 to 24-month period as set by the board, during which an individual could be licensed and therefore eligible to work as a social worker while studying and taking the exam, potentially multiple times during that 12 to 24-month period.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's on. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Nathan, for that explanation. Colleagues, I know there's been a lot of concern about, being certified without passing the test, right? But there's also concern in the community about the bias that the tests hold. And so with this amendment, we propose another pathway whereby an individual can go to work under the supervision of a licensed social worker, get the experience, while also being afforded an opportunity to take the test along the way or whatever. But hopefully with the adequate supervision over a period of time and having a work experience, it will better prepare an individual to be more successful at passing the test. And so it doesn't achieve all of the elements of the bill as introduced, but it does create another alternative pathway for someone that's pursuing a higher licensure in the social work field.
The wisdom of Solomon.
Senator Lamb.
Yeah, just a clarifying question. So this gives them, I guess, as is noted in the margin, 12 to 24 months of a period to work while studying for the exam?
Yes.
So it's a time period. Would there be openness to just make it clearer for the duration to be 24 months? Is that,
So
how would that work?
Yeah, so I can explain a little bit of the background on why the bill, as introduced and as amended by the sponsor, has this 12 to 24-month period. I believe it is intended to address an element of the fiscal and policy note on the bill last year, where the board said that having a new license type that did not align with their regular licensure cycles would require additional either work or employees. So I believe that was why the bill, as originally drafted, included this idea that the provisional license would be for a 12 to 24-month period as set by the board. It allows them that flexibility to line up the provisional license with their regular license cycle.
Okay, all right, thank you for that explanation. That's helpful.
Any other questions on Senate Bill 18? Senator Hershey.
Thank you. Just a question again on taking the exam. With there being a 24-month period, if the exam is not passed within that time, what happens?
This new provisional license may not be renewed. So the person would then no longer be able to practice under supervision under the provisional license and would be in the position of needing to take the exam while not working as a licensed social worker.
So it doesn't mean you have to stop taking the exam, you just can no
No,
longer
it has
have the
nothing to do with that.
provisional.
And I will mention that my understanding of the ASWB exam procedures is that you can take the exam once every 90 days.
Okay, I was
And
going to ask
so,
that next, thank you.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I just want to mention one of the reasons it has a 24-month limit is there's just a limited number of supervisors, and so if you let people stay on for longer than 24 months, someone else isn't going to have the opportunity to work under a supervisor. So that was why it's a limit of 24 months. Okay? Thank you. Okay.
We have a motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I know.
Can we have a motion on Senate Bill 18?
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to
As
clarify.
amended, as amended.
Right, as amended and including the, what we'll call the Hayes version of subsection E,
Absolutely.
as represented in the
So
reprint.
Senator Hayes motioned, who seconded? Senator Guile. All in favor of Senate Bill 18 as amended? Okay, unanimous vote. Okay. On to Lisa, Senate Bill 351.
Senate Bill 351 establishes various prohibitions that apply to private passenger motor vehicle insurers that use programs to measure the operation of an insured's motor vehicle. The bill establishes related responsibilities for the Maryland Insurance Administration, including that MIA must adopt specified regulations related to the use of any such program. There's one amendment requested by the sponsor on behalf of MIA. It makes clarifying changes, specifies that the bill only applies to private passenger motor vehicle insurance policies in the state, and extends the effective date of certain provisions of the bill from October 1st, 2026 to January 1st, 2027.
Did you make a motion? I did. Okay. Senator Washington made the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. We all in favor of Senate Bill 351 as amended?
Oh.
Okay. It's, okay. I gotta do the math. 7 to 3. It passed 7 to 3. Senator, you did take the amendments from the insurance commissioner. I did.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just double checking.
Well played,
Senate Bill 395.
Senate Bill 395 repeals provisions of current law specifying which insurance coverage is primary when a vehicle is being used for peer-to-peer car sharing program, repeals provisions of current law that prohibit an insurer from denying, canceling, voiding, terminating, rescinding, or non-renewing a policy solely on the basis that the motor vehicle covered by the policy has been made available through a peer-to-peer car sharing program. It authorizes part of or all of the motor vehicle liability insurance covering a vehicle while it is being used for peer-to-peer car sharing to be provided by a shared vehicle driver, includes specifications for accidents and incidents that occur in another state during a car sharing period, authorizes a peer-to-peer car sharing program to transfer monetary liability and charge drivers for any toll, fee, charge, or fine imposed during a car sharing period, and clarifies that a peer-to-peer car sharing program is not liable for a citation issued through a traffic control signal monitoring system. There are two amendments requested by the sponsor at the request of Turo. Amendment 1 is technical, and Amendment 2 clarifies that a peer-to-peer car sharing service is responsible for providing the vehicle liability insurance policy required by law in specified circumstances.
For Senate Bill 395. Senator Guile, who motioned? Who motioned? Senator Washington, second by Senator Guile. All in favor of Senate Bill 395. I think I have a unanimous vote. Okay, unanimous vote,
Does it
thank
have
you.
anything to do, although did they throw in drinking and?
No, no drinking, no drinking.
And peer-to-peer ride
you to a barber shop.
Just premium cigars.
Is that what
Smoking a cigar at the
Okay,
same time.
let's go. Senate Bill, what, 69?
69.
Yep.
Senate Bill 69 repeals the termination provision associated with the nonprofit navigator position created within the Department of Commerce during the 2025 session. By making the position permanent, the bill requires that the navigator continue to provide technical assistance, resolve grant-making delays, share information on funding opportunities, and represent the nonprofit organizations as a member of the MEGA Council, which is the Maryland Efficient Grant Application Council. There are no amendments, and there was no opposition at the committee hearing.
All right. Senator Reed.
I just want to register again. In this budget year, I love our nonprofits. I mean, some of our nonprofits that do business with the state, I think we have some issues with, but that's not who this is aimed at, and I understand that. I just can't abide the idea of adding a permanent position, even one at this point. I mean, we have so many problems with the state budget. I just don't understand why we would do this. So my vote will be no.
Are you going to give me a problem on the floor?
Will that help? Will it help if I tell you yes? Begging for some questions.
Okay.
Somebody.
So do I have a motion on Senate Bill 69? Do I have a motion? Going once? Going twice? All right, we don't have a motion on Senate Bill 69. Okay, Senate Bill 279, Senator Hayes.
Senate Bill 279, I believe Senator Hayes had a request.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I'd like to hold 279 till next week.
Okay, Senate Bill 300.
Senate Bill 300 establishes the Rural Readiness Program, which is administered by the Rural Maryland Council to enhance the capacity of rural communities for economic development by assisting eligible organizations with grant applications and revenue-generating economic development projects. There are no amendments. There was no opposition at the committee hearing. There is a fiscal note, but it has already gone through budget and tax and been released.
It was a very small fiscal. It was like-
Yes, it was right at 100,000, which is the limit.
Can I have a motion on Senate Bill 300?
You can vote on it first.
No, that's okay.
I just want to be added as a co-sponsor. I think I signed up for it, but I
Okay.
didn't.
It might be in here.
Okay,
I'll add it.
okay, all right, I got it. We'll go back. I know. I have to deal with it too, that's why it's on the voting list. Senate Bill 300, do we have a motion? Do we have a motion on Senate Bill 300?
Yes.
Senator Guile and Senator Hershey, all in favor of Senate Bill 300? Okay, unanimous vote. All right.
Next is Senate Bill 363, which extends the Maryland-Ireland Trade Commission within the Department of Commerce.
Senator Guile, move favorable. Senator Matt, second. All in favor of Senate Bill 363?
Y'all made a motion. Wasteful, is it wasteful spending? You're opposing the wasteful spending?
It's unanimous vote.
Is this 360?
Senator Washington doesn't know the story. You have to update him.
You don't have a unanimous. Senator Guile votes no. I know, I'm teasing.
If I may, on that's 363, we just voted? Can I just once again note, and I voted for it, but I do think we need to, if we're going to be embracing a foreign government, we should also then have conversations with them about the phenomenal high rate of anti-Semitism that is very commonplace there and throughout their government. And as I said, as it turns out, just this past summer, a very large study was done on that very subject in Ireland, and they were across the board 2 to 3 times higher in their anti-Semitic sentiment than anywhere else in Europe.
Now,
So
we could be in trouble if somebody did a racism study in the United States, but
I understand, but my point is, if we're looking to create interactions with another government based on, our collaboration, I think that's something that needs to be part of the conversation. So, thank
Before
you.
we turn the page, I've been asked for a reconsideration of Senate Bill 69. Someone would like to make a motion favorable.
I don't know about love, but I'll move favorable, Madam Chair.
Do I have a,
His mic wasn't.
here's my.
I'll move favorable on Senate Bill 69,
Do I have
Madam
a second for Senate Bill 69? I'll second. All in favor of Senate Bill 69? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that it? Come on, Senator. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
You guys.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
you already signed yourself up for a 4-liter for another one.
Do what?
Kramer and Beidel.
I did, I seconded it. Which I never do, so I hope she appreciates that. Okay. Senate Bill 439, Senator Jackson's bill, Employment Discrimination, Fire and Rescue, Public Safety Employees Cannabis. We passed this last year out of the committee unanimously.
No.
It was not unanimous. There were 2 people that voted not with the majority.
Okay, so it wasn't unanimous, but it passed.
Yes.
So can I have a
And it-
motion for Senate Bill 439, Senator Lamb, seconded by Senator Guile? All in favor of Senate Bill 439?
I'll explain my vote real quick. I
Yeah.
won't take long. I'll explain my vote.
Okay.
No, I'm a no.
I know, I got it. You're down one. I'm gonna tell your firefighters.
Yeah. I'm a no.
Who else is no?
I don't want guys running to burning buildings.
Mounts and Hayes are no. You're what? You're no, okay.
No.
So we got another 6-4 vote. Okay. It is. It is dangerously close.
Oh, no.
Thank God for Justin Mooney, all right?
Love your firefighters. Love your firefighters.
Hard raised, hard play.
6-5. That was a 6-5. No.
No,
6-4.
he didn't. It was, yeah.
It's a 6-4 vote. It's close. It was close.
You voted for it? No. You voted for it, Miles? No. You voted for it?
He did.
Yeah, for last year.
Very sound reasons.
It's not a 5-5, it's a 6-4. Okay, come on, guys.
All right, Senate Bill,
Get some chips.
I've got a constituent.
All right, can we knock out the last?
Senate Bill 528 prohibits a video streaming service from transmitting the audio of a commercial advertisement in a louder manner than the audio of the accompanying programming.
Oh, move favorable.
Second.
Madam Chair,
You would like to hold it?
It's going to be enforced by the Attorney General's office under the Consumer Protection Division. There are some amendments.
Well, so much for that.
Women, guys.
So much for that
We're coming
law.
to the end. Amber has some amendments to do.
There are some amendments proposed by the Maryland Chamber, offered by the chair. On page 2, there are some alterations to or additions to what's excluded from a video streaming service, just to be more clear there and align more with the California statute. And then on page 3, the chamber asked for explicit language, removing the private right of action. I will note that there was already not a private right of action because the Maryland Consumer Protection Act private rights of action were already excluded, but this just makes doubly sure that there's no private right of action.
Madam Chair, can I, and I
This is not intended to be deleterious, and I love our new senator, Senator Harris, personally, seems like a great guy. I don't want a bunch of hate mail, but I am gonna ask to hold this, because I'd like to look at those amendments, honestly, I'd like to just look it over, so.
All right, so we held 5-8. All right, I have the famous withdrawal message. So
Move
I
unfavorable.
would like to ask the committee to motion unfavorable withdrawn for Senate Bill 722 and Senate Bill 855. So
Second.
moved. Second. So Guile and Hayes, all in favor of the motion unfavorable withdrawn for those 2 bills. Unanimous vote. Thank you. Which, yeah.
Did you know Tammy has the document you want upstairs?
Did you vote for it?
Did you want it
Oh, yeah.
on Uber?
That
I
makes sense.
asked her to give you a copy
You gonna go
of what
up?
we got from,
Oh, 69.
So instead of 6-4, it's 7-3?
Which one is?
Yeah. You're going to vote for it? Okay.
are we done?
Yeah, on 69.
All right, we got it.
We out of here?
We're out of here.
Yeah.